Today we are going to be going into deep lore and backstory, as well as everything we know about each member of the Smiling Critters. Without any further ado, let's begin. Bubba Font. Bubba is the very first critter we see. Well, in cardboard form at least. We can hear him talking in his audio from the cutout, and he then mentions that he remembers us. Maybe Bubba knew us from when we worked at the factory. Sadly, at the end of the audio, we can hear Bubba scream. This obviously means Bubba Dis in this scene. However, we cannot determine exactly how he died. But there are some more things we know about Bubba. We know that he is the brains of the group. We can prove this from the description Mob Entertainment released before the game was released. It reads, Bubba Fant is the brains of the critters, bright and attentive. He keeps his friends steady and always steers them to make smart choices. That way they might grow up to be bright and brilliant, each in their own right. As we can hear, Bubba cares about his friends' well-being and wants them to be safe and make the right choices. When we hear Bubba's dialogue in his cutout, we can hear him laugh before he screams. This could indicate that Catnap used his gas before killing Bubba, since in the Smiling Critters commercial, we see everyone laugh before they are put to sleep by Catnap. Unfortunately, this is about everything we know about Bubba. Let's move on to the next character, Hoppy Hopscotch. Hoppy is the most energetic of the group. She loves sports and being active. We can see this in the commercial, where she is playing soccer on a rainbow. Hoppy is one of the last critters we find the cutout for. Once we play the audio, she insists for us to jump. She keeps urging us to not mess up, as if something bad would happen if we did. She tries to help us make a perfect jump by telling us not to look at our feet. Sadly, at the end, we can hear her scream, where she was more than likely killed by the prototype, Catnap, or fell to her death. Hoppy's description reads, unafraid to hop where others might sit. Hoppy is the friend everyone needs to maintain their energy and enthusiasm. While sometimes loud or impatient, she'll always hop beside her friends, even if it means slowing up once in a while to keep their pace. Hoppy has an obvious job of keeping her friends energetic so they don't become lazy. Hoppy is a green bunny rabbit with a lightning bolt on her chest. The lightning bolt symbolizes her energy. Just like most of the other critters, Hoppy was presumed dead by Dog Day's statement inside of the playhouse. Maybe we can see more of her in the next chapter, but sadly I doubt this. That's about everything we know about Hoppy, so let's continue on to the next critter, Kickin' Chicken. Kickin' Chicken is seen as a flamboyant member of the critters, always keeping cool, but in dire situations is a scared cat. As we can hear in this audio from his cutout, he is scared to go outside and begs us to go outside with him. When he offers to go outside first, we can hear him screaming in agony, presumably dying. Now, a lot of people like to make jokes about him finally touching grass and dying. This joke is very funny. However, I think he had the most painful death out of everyone. Just by the sounds of his screams and theories going around on how he could have died is very disturbing. Kickin' Chicken is seen as a yellow chicken with a lot of energy, just like Hoppy Hopscotch. High description reads this. He is the cool kid of the group, and he maintains that sense of cool through anything, even the most tense of situations. Knock him down, and he'll pick himself back up, brush himself off, and ask, what's next? Now, in my opinion, most of his description is bullshit. He was scared to go outside without someone else, and when he finally did, he screamed like a little bitch. Now, I have no idea what the star resembles on his neck. The only thing I can think of is the fact that he seems himself as so cool to where he believes he is a star. No idea, honestly, but that's about everything we know about Kickin' Chicken. Let's move on to our fourth critter. And she is the most lovable of them all, Bobby Bear Hug. Bobby is a very loving critter, ensures her friends are always happy and never sad. Bobby is seen as a red bear with a hair around her neck. The heart symbolizes love, which is her entire character trait. Bobby's description reads, a king, caring soul. Bobby Bear Hug shows compassion for everyone and for everything. People and places and things, large or small, are all receivers of her love. Each is rich with attention and affection, and in return, so is he. Bobby is obviously very loving to everyone no matter what, which is why I think she died from starvation. Since she loves everyone so much, she probably couldn't bring herself to eat humans, since it goes against everything she stood for. From Bobby's dialogue, we can hear that she is scared that we will leave her. She is begging us to take her with us. It seems like she has some sort of separation anxiety. This could possibly be because all of her friends are dead. I believe that Bobby and maybe one other critter could possibly be alive. This is only because we never hear her scream at the end of the audio. like we can hear from almost every other critter in the game. There are some believers out there who think Ollie is actually Bobby Bearhug. Now, I don't personally believe this, but it may come true just by the nature of Ollie and Bobby, and how much their characters align. That's about everything we know about Booby. Let's move on to the next critter, Crafty Corn. Crafty Corn is a very weird creature. She is either the most innocent of the bunch, or she is the most psychotic of the bunch. It's pretty hard to tell. Crafty Corn is seen as a unicorn with rainbow hair. She loves to paint, as we can see in the cartoon that Mob Entertainment released for the game as a trailer. Now, Crafty Corn has a rainbow flower around her neck, which kind of resembles the flower we find at the end of Chapter 1 before we retrieve Poppy. The description for Crafty Corn reads this: a conscious observer of both color and creativity in the world. Crafty Corn understands the importance of art and sharing it with others, crayons, pencils, paint, or words on the page. Crafty Corn can see beauty in anything imagined given shape. It's clear that Crafty Corn loves her paintings. In her dialogue, we can hear her request more blue paint from us. Once we give her the blue paint, she asks for red paint. We tell her we don't have any red paint. She believes we are lying and yells at us to give us the paint. After that, we hear a scream, and then she says that's much better, which most likely means she got her red paint. In my opinion, I believe she got her red paint from killing someone, which is why we heard a scream before she said much better. I personally believe she killed Bubba. That's about everything we know about Mrs. Crafty Corn. Let's move on to one of the most demented critters, Picky Piggy. Picky Piggy is a horrible person, but we will get into that later on. Picky Piggy is a pink pig. Obviously, she has a red apple pendant around her neck resembling her gluttony for food. Her description reads, what's more important than play and learning? Picky Piggy knows the answer. A playful body and keen mind are fueled by what's put into them, which is why she encourages her friends to eat a well-balanced diet. Secretly, PB&Js are her favorite food. As we can hear from the description, she is a big eater and loves food. Now is the disturbing part. We can find her cardboard cutout in Home Sweet Home. She tells us her favorite foods include grilled chicken, seared elephant, and flayed unicorn. This very well could have indicated that she ate her friends in order to survive. Very disturbing indeed. And if she didn't blatantly kill her friends, she more than likely ate her friends after they were killed. She may be the smiling critter with most backstory other than Dog Day and Catnap. But regardless, in my opinion, she is the most boring character in the entire Smiling Critters. She had so much potential and she just ruined it by being boring. Let's move on to the leader of the group, Dog Day. Dog Day hands down had the worst death out of the entire group. But let's go over some things before we start talking about that. Dog Day is seen as an orange dog. He is the leader of the critters and always seen as happy. Dog Day has a sun pendant around his neck which resembles his happy-go-lucky nature, as well as him being bright and full of energy all the time. Dog Day's description reads, this is Dog Day, the sunny, strong, and determined leader of our critters. Each trust him to find the bright side in any situation, and to have a friendly word of encouragement should they feel down. He'll always keep his friends going, no matter what. Dog Day is an amazing leader for the critters. He is the one everyone comes to when they are sad. We know from Dog Day after we find him in the playhouse that he is the last of the Smiling Critters. Apparently, Catnap has killed the other Smiling Critters and kept Dog Day alive in order to torture him for not siding with the prototype. After we find him, and he gives us a rundown on what's happening and why we need to live, he is them disemboweled by the small Smiling Critters. A very disturbing death. He then chases us out of the playhouse. He is basically still alive since we never killed him, but he is a monster. Hopefully in the future we can turn him back into a good guy. Finally, we get the Dog Day's cardboard cutout where we hear him talking to us and telling us we can stay, which could resemble him talking to the other critters when they were alive, that they need to get out of wherever they were because Catnap might find them. However, nothing can be certain. Let's move on to our final and most deadly critter. Finally, we have our main antagonist, Catnap. Catnap is seen as a purple cat with a permanent smile on his face. He has an S-shaped tail as well as cat whiskers, obviously. Catnap has a moon pendant on his neck, which is basically the opposite of Dog Day. Catnap's description reads this. Catnap is a calming presence for the critters and ensures he and his friends always have the right amount of sleep to jumpstart the morning's play. End of the day, there's nothing Catnap enjoys more than watching his friends sleep soundly. Now that's pretty disturbing, that he likes watch his friends sleep. This could be an early iteration of how unhinged Catnap truly is. Not much later after this, all catnap dolls were recalled because the doll was giving out red gas, which gave children very violent nightmares. The catnap toy was then possessed by Theodore Graham Bell. After this, Catnap met the prototype since some incident happened where Catnap was about to die. But the prototype saved Catnap, so he pledged his loyalty to him for the rest of his life. Catnap then went on a killing spree at the Hour of Joy and cleaned out the Playcare floor. He then waited there for explorers to finish off. At the end of the game, we make our final stand against Catnap, where we luckily win. Catnap is then killed by the prototype and the game ends shortly after that. Thank you everyone for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and share with friends. Also, leave a comment down below to give me some ideas on future videos. Have a great day, everyone. Goodbye.